Hey guys, Shalom. How you guys doing? Um, so I felt compelled to do this video. I am exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am so tired today. Um, after this video, I'm going straight to bed. But I felt compelled to do this video because the questions that I get asked, well, the answers that I'm about to give to these questions, I'm gonna tell you what they are in a minute. But I've gotten so many questions about these same issues over and over, and it's very difficult for me to keep answering. It becomes repetitive just to keep answering the same questions over and over to different people. And so when we created this channel, I told you guys that one of the main reason was to take your questions that you have and put them in the form of a video and respond to them so you can just so I can answer your question in the form of a video, okay? Because it's hard for me to just constantly just keep answering the same questions over and over to different people. Um, whew, I'm sorry, guys, I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go down the list of the few questions that I have here, and these are just the main questions that people ask me constantly. One of the questions is urinary. People ask me about urinary tract infection, and believe it or not, I get asked about this question by men and women. Ask me about this question. Believe it or not, they think that a lot of people believe that women are the only one who get a urinary tract infection, but men get it as well, and we're going to talk about that briefly in a minute. Another question that I get asked about a lot, and let me just say this: within the last couple of weeks, I've had 13 people ask me about urinary tract infection within the last 3 to 4 weeks, and a couple of those people were brothers, like I said. Okay, so another question I get asked about a lot, not as frequently as the rest, but gout. Okay, gout. Another question that I get asked about, I've had 8 people ask me about gout within the last few weeks. Another question I get asked about is athlete foot. Athlete foot, and that's a big one. I've had over 20 people ask me about athlete foot within the last few weeks. Okay, dandruff. Dandruff. I've gotten some photograph that people have sent me. What's going on with their scalp? A lot of them is just it's not looking good. That's one question I get asked about a lot. And another, did I say athlete foot? Okay, if I didn't, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. If I didn't mention athlete foot, yes, athlete foot. All right, and diabetes. The number one question I get asked about is diabetes. Within the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've had 40. I wrote the numbers down, guys. I really did. I've had 47 people have asked me about diabetes within the last 3 to 4 weeks, both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Okay, man, black folks suffers. I think black folks suffers the most from diabetes. I just, it's terrible. Our people are suffering. We got to do better. We got to do better. So I'm gonna go down the list. All right. So urinary tract infection, right? Um, obviously it's an infection in the urinary tract, right? A gout is an inflammatory arthritis, okay? And that's when there's too much uric acid in the blood, all right? And we're going to talk about that briefly because I don't have all night. Guys, I'm tired, okay? Athlete foot and dandruff is pretty much the same thing, guys. Pretty much the same thing. And the reason I'm putting these, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason I'm putting these 4 questions together is because they can be treated the same exact way. Okay, so I'm compiling these 4 questions together, and I'm going to give you one answer for these 4 questions. Okay, I'm compiling them together, and I'm going to give you one answer for them. Okay, because they're all related. They're all related, okay? So let's deal with gout for a second. Gout is an inflammatory arthritis, okay? And that's when there's too much uric acid in the stomach. All of these things, if the body is too acidic, okay? all right? The gout, all right? Athlete foot, oftentimes is a result of, you're not going to want to hear it. You're not going to want to hear it. Parasite, yes. Athlete foot and dandruff is oftentimes a parasite, okay? Um, and sometimes it's too much yeast in the body, which also comes from parasite, okay? But also comes from what you're eating as well. If you're eating too much processed crap like bread and stuff like that, the body is too acidic. Again, too acidic, way too acidic. All of these things compiled together, the body is simply too acidic. You need to get rid of the acidity, the processed food, or like the gout, all right? Too much inflammation in the system, okay? Too much inflammation in the system, too much yeast in the system. The body is overran by acidity, okay? So I have one answer for those 4 questions there, all right? Let's talk about diabetes for a second, okay? Now, I'm not going to get into the whole debate about type 1 diabetes because, you did have the doctors who are telling people that, type 1 diabetes cannot be cured. Let me tell you something. My personal belief is this. My personal belief is there are no um, incurable disease. That's my personal belief. And you don't have to, you don't have to agree with me, but my personal belief is that there are no incurable disease. There are only incurable people. Okay. The doctors are telling people that there are no cure for diabetes. I don't believe that at all. I've had a few people gotten into debates about whether or not type 1 diabetes is curable or whether it's incurable. I'm not going to argue with anybody about that, but I get asked about diabetes a lot, and I'm going to share with you what you can do, especially for those of you with type 2 diabetes. You can get rid of it. You can get off of your medication and get rid of type 2 diabetes. If you don't think you can get rid of type 1 diabetes, if you are been indoctrinated and whatever it is, this also can help you to regulate the diabetes, okay, the type 1 diabetes. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys for a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Just give me 1 second here. Come on, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. Where are we? Okay, so let me go here. Where is it? Okay. A lot of you guys know what this is. A lot of you guys have taken this, okay? This right here. A lot of you guys, if you're watching this video, you know exactly what this is. This is the parasite cleanse that I have been talking about on this channel for a while, okay? I have done this cleanse 3 times before, okay? This cleanse here is I'm answering the first 4 questions on this list, which is the urinary tract infection, the gout, the athlete foot, and the dandruff. This cleanse is going to get rid of those things, okay? The Candida parasite cleanse will get rid of the gout, the urinary tract infection, the athlete foot, and the dandruff. I hope that answers the question. I'm trying to be as simple as I can. This particular cleanse, guys, has herbs in here that deal with those things, okay? They have anti-parasitic. This is an anti-parasitic formula. This is actually a formula, and I believe this particular formula has about 8 different herbs in here, and this herbs will get rid of the infection, okay? This herb will get rid of all that yeast that you have sitting in the body. This herb will bring the body down to an alkaline state because you have too much acidity going on in the body. All right? So this cleanse, this parasite cleanse, talk about that all that yeast you have in there. This is an anti-parasitic cleanse. And a lot of the times, as I mentioned before, you have a lot of parasites that are causing these things in the system, okay? And it's also what you're eating, the foods that you're eating, that is causing too much acidity in the body. All right? The parasite cleanse is going to get rid of those things. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute why. All right? Give me 1 second. Let me go back over here. This right here, for those of you with questions about diabetes, this is a herb. This is, I'm sorry, this is a formula. This is several herbs in this formula. This is a formula. If you are suffering from type 2 diabetes, you will be getting rid of that. And you know, to be quite honest with you, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. If you have type 2 diabetes and you do the parasite cleanse, I mean, I don't know if those of you who have done the parasite cleanse and you had diabetes, if you have type 2 diabetes and you did that parasite cleanse, you shouldn't have diabetes anymore, because that parasite cleanse will get rid of your diabetes. It will. But if you decide not to do that cleanse for some reason, because a lot of you guys, you know, I don't, for some reason, a lot of you guys are afraid to do the cleanse, the parasite cleanse. I don't know why, but a lot of, you know, some of you guys are afraid to do it, or either you start it and then you don't finish it, or you go for a couple of days and then you stop and then you start again, and then, you know, it's like you flip-flops, you know, just flip-flopping, and you're not going to get better that way when you keep flip-flopping. But if you're not strong enough to take the parasite cleanse, this is a diabetic formula. Okay, there it is. This is the diabetic formula, and this will help you get rid of your type 2 diabetes. And I'm not going to get into the whole debate with the type 1 diabetes, but if you're suffering from type 1 diabetes, this will help you to regulate it, and it might help you to get off of some of that medication that you're on. Okay, but I want you guys to also understand. So let me go back here. I want you guys to also understand that a lot of this has to do with your diet. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so here it is again. Your diabetes. This is the formula. All right. That's it right there. Diabetic formula. For those of you with questions about diabetes, that is the diabetic formula there. And again, down here, the parasite cleanse that everyone has been doing for months, including myself. I've done this 3 times, okay? This is the parasite cleanse. If you're suffering from urinary tract infection, the gout, the athlete foot, and the dandruff, this right here, okay? And I'm going to talk to you guys about, give me 1 second. And this is the website that those things are on, okay? Let me go back to my screen here. All right. Yeah, I don't like to really, okay, let me say this, right? Some people don't like me to put their business out there, but let me just say this. I have a few people in my family who, some of them started the cleanse and fell off, okay? Y'all know who you are. Oh, boy. All right. So I have an elder. I have an elder in my family. He's 71 years old, okay, and he have a few medical issues. The brother, one of his medical issues was he had, I believe I talked about that on this channel before. I think I may have mentioned that a few times. He's 71 years old, and he was on medication for a urinary tract infection, and that was just one of a few medical problems that he was suffering from, unfortunately. But the brother was on antibiotic and some other medication for months for a urinary tract infection, and that really kind of threw me for a loop, because I'm like, Why is somebody on medication for months for a urinary tract infection? You shouldn't have that for months. Like, you shouldn't be trying to treat or get rid of. Like, what do you like? This? These doctors are wicked. Let me tell you. To have somebody on medication for months for urinary tract infection. Anyway, so when the brother told me that, I shipped him a bag of my the parasite cleanse that I take. I didn't, I took the bag and I felt bad. I took the whole thing and I shipped it to him. Um, and I kept in touch with the brother, kept up with him maybe once or twice a week. I would call him. Anyway, I spoke to the brother 3 weeks later, and I just asked the brother, "How you doing? How's everything going?" And one of the things that he told me was that the infection was gone. The urinary tract infection was gone. That's what he mentioned to me. And you know, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I guess the brother was surprised, but just to hear it from someone else, because when I say these things, I don't know if people don't believe me sometimes, but these herbs work. Herbs, just herbs, you know, they work. They work, but you have to put in the work in order for them to work. Now, the brother had to put in some work, okay? He had to give up some stuff because his diet was very poor, all right? Um, he had to give up some things, and I was very hard on him. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the times, elders, when you have the elders, they don't really listen to us because we're younger. But the brother was able to put away his pride, all right, and listen to me. Thank God. And because he's an elder, he's 71 years old, and he put away his pride and he listened to me, and he did the cleanse, the flush, and he took the parasite cleanse. He did, and in 3 weeks, I spoke to the brother 3 weeks later, and he said his infection is gone. The urinary tract infection is gone. You know, and that was just one testimony that just made me happy. Just the fact that I was able to help somebody, because it's hard. It's hard to help our people because they don't. I hate to say it, but um, especially when people don't believe in these herbs. That's the problem. That's the problem. I have a family member. I'll just say, he don't like when I talk about this, but my brother had athlete foot. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my brother had athlete foot. All right, and he had it for a couple of years. He was back and forth to the doctor for about 2 years or so, and all that cream and crap that they give you to rub on your foot, and all that nonsense. And I may have mentioned this in a video, in one of the parasite cleanse video. And I'm not sure if he posted it in the group. I don't know. I know he was a little bit embarrassed about it. But he did the cleanse last year, I believe October or somewhere, July, August, somewhere around there. He did I don't remember what month he did it. I believe it was somewhere in August or October. And he called me up and he was shocked. He said, "My athlete foot is gone." You know, said it's gone. Um, that was after he did the cleanse. The cleanse clean up the athlete foot. But I try to explain to him that it's not so much the athlete foot as the cleanse clean up your digestive system. That's what it did. Because every illness comes from the digestive system. So I explained to my brother that it's not so much your foot, but your inside. Once the cleanse clean up the inside, everywhere else is going to get taken care of. And so he did the cleanse again a few months ago. Thank God. And his athlete foot is gone. His athlete foot is gone. Um, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. Diabetes. Now, let me talk about diabetes. And I know there are some people that are close to me who watch this this channel, and I'm gonna keep it real, okay? Whew. I'm not gonna say any name, but I have someone close to me with diabetes, and let me say this to you guys: I cannot force anyone to do anything I suggest. My goal here is just to give you the information, make suggestion, give you my opinion, share the info with you guys, and you either take it or leave it, okay? And whether you are family members or friends, it's your choice. Or a stranger, it doesn't matter. It's your choice, right? I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. Unfortunately, some people, it's hard to get them to change, unfortunately. Um, there are a few people that started and just fell off. I know about 3 people that actually started taking the diabetic formula, and about 2 of those people so far has gotten off of their medication. Okay, well, all praises to the Most High for that. I can't say for the other people, okay, because if you are hiding and sneaking around and buying junk food and hiding it all over the place, and let me say this to you guys, okay, and y'all know who I'm talking. I'm trying to keep it. I'm tired, guys. I'm trying to keep a straight face while I'm doing this video too. Listen, let me say this, right? You're not hurting me. I don't have any illness, right? But you're not hurting me when you're going around and sneaking around and buying junk crap and hiding it. Like y'all, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. If you're suffering from diabetes and you feel the need to run around and hide and buy the junk food, and you're still on your insulin, and you're still on your, you're still taking your popping your pills for the diabetic pills, and you're still going to the doctor and getting all these shots or whatever the heck they give to you, and even though you know what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it because the need, the urge to eat junk food, um, is outweighing the need to get better for some reason. I don't understand it. And now it's affecting the heart. It's affecting the heart. Let me say this to you guys: if you're suffering from any diabetes at all, whether it be type 1, type 2, type 20, it doesn't matter. Eventually, it's going to affect the heart. Okay? It's going to affect the heart. There is a possibility that at some point you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke, okay? Because heart disease is a symptom of diabetes. Let me say that again. And I know, I'm almost certain that I've said this many times on this channel. Heart disease is a symptom of diabetes. So if you are suffering from type 1, type 2, type 50, type 100 diabetic, whatever, you have a very high risk of coming down with heart disease. The heart muscles are going to get weaker. A lot of stuff is going to go on, and you're going to have heart disease. Okay, so don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. But I would encourage you guys to listen to your body. Okay, because a lot of you guys are not familiar with what's going on with your body because you don't listen to the body. You need to pay attention to what's going on with the body. Diabetes, me personally, I think it's one of the easiest thing to fix, man. If only you can control what it is that you're putting in your mouth, for God's sake, and clean up the system. Okay? Just clean it up. That's all you got to do. Just clean it up. Yes, the pancreas is messed up. It's not producing enough insulin and all that stuff, right? But that's because you are depriving the body of the things that it needs to function, and you're putting stuff in the body that the body does not need, and it's hindering the body from functioning. Okay, so yes, that's why you have diabetes, and some children are born with diabetes, and that's why they say, oh well, it's just something in the family tree. No, children that are born with diabetes is because the mother, the environment that they were producing, that they were conceiving, was messed up. Okay? If you have a woman walking around and her stomach, her digestive system is messed up, her body is acidic, her system is just jacked up, and she gets pregnant somehow and she conceive a child, you better believe that that child is going to come out sick as hell. Okay? And they're going to come out with type 1 diabetes and all kind of crap. All right? So I'm talking to you young mothers now, okay? Or you young women who's planning on having children. You better believe that you might give birth to a child that have diabetes and some other illnesses, because if you're not taking care of your insides and you're carrying a child inside of you and your inside is messed up, your child is feeding off of you, and whatever you're feeding your body is going into that child. So if your system is jacked up, you better believe that your child is going to come out jacked up. Okay, that's what I've been trying to tell young mothers for a long time. All right. And that's why you have babies that are being born with diabetes. You have people say, well, I was born with diabetes. Yes, because your mother was very ill. Okay. Her inside was messed up. Yes, that's the problem. Okay. But anyway, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. I'm very tired and I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But so give me a second, guys. All right, so the urinary tract, the gout, the athlete foot, those four things are all related, believe it or not. Believe it or not, they're related, okay? I've gotten one urinary tract infection in my entire life, okay? And those herbs in that parasite cleanse is what got rid of it. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to the doctor. I know what, listen, this is what I do. I know what a urinary tract infection is, okay? So when I get it, I know the symptoms, all right? And those are the herbs that help me get rid of it, okay? And I'm sharing it with you guys. You know, listen, I talked to you guys about my parasite problem. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever told on this channel, okay, as far as I'm concerned. So I can talk to you guys a little bit about urinary tract infection. People get it. Brothers get it. You know, to be honest with you, I was a little shocked when brothers come to me with urinary tract infection. I really was. I'm like, I know that men get it, but I was kind of thrown off. Like, I don't hear men talk about that often, you know. So I was a bit thrown off when brothers come to me with that. I was like, wow, you know. But brothers get urinary tract infection, and so brothers, if you have a urinary tract infection, the first thing you need to do is a flush. Okay, flush. All right. You need something to take and flush the system out, and then you need to get on this parasite cleanse. Okay, the herb, the golden seal, the wormwood, you know, all these herbs. There's about 8 different herbs in that one formula alone. These herbs are going to help to put the body back into an alkaline state. But before I go, I want to say this to everyone. Okay, you can do all of this stuff, all the, you know, all the flush and the formula and the herbs and stuff. But if your diet continue to be horrible, okay, you continue to eat the crap that you're eating, you're not going to get rid of these things. When I had that urinary tract infection, I had to go on a parasite cleanse. Yes, I had to go on a parasite cleanse. I had to deprive myself for 2 weeks. I had to go on this thing, and I had to get rid of sugar. I had to get rid of fruits, and fruits are one of my favorite things to eat. You know, I'm from the Caribbean, so fruit is my weakness. I had to get off of fruits completely, 100%, because that's full of sugar. If you have a urinary tract infection, you cannot put sugar in the system. Okay, I really need to say that. If you have the urinary tract infection, you cannot put sugar in the system until you get rid of it. If you have gout, if you have dandruff and athlete foot, if you have a yeast infection, okay, you cannot be putting sugar in the system. You're feeding the infection and you're feeding the yeast. Okay, that's what you're doing. All right, sisters, those of you with yeast infection. All right, you should be taking this cleanse as well, especially those of you who have recurring yeast infection, like you have it this month, and a couple of months later it comes back again, and a couple of months later it just keep coming back. You need this cleanse, and you need to get rid of the acidic food that you're eating, the cheese and the milk and the bread and all. And you brothers too, with urinary tract infection. Anybody who's suffering from these things, get off of the things that are causing the acidity and the yeast and the inflammation in the system. Okay, like the gout. The gout is an inflammatory arthritis. Too much inflammation in the system. And what is inflammation? Inflammation is caused by a lot of acidity in the system. Okay. All right. I know I'm going around in a circle, but I just want to make it clear. All right. So those are the questions that I've been asked so many times, especially with the diabetes. 47 times within the last 3 to 4 weeks, man. Okay. That diabetic formula. Let me share it again with you guys in case you missed it. All right. In case you missed it. Let me share it again one last time. There we go. Diabetic formula. Here it is. You look at the herbs in this thing here. Look at the herbs in here. You have wormwood, you have soursop leaves, you have Ceylon cinnamon, you have organic clove, dandelion root, uber earthseed. Listen, there you go. That's for your diabetes. And your parasite cleanse for all of that yeast that you have in the system and inflammation and all of that other stuff that you have going on. All right. This is going to get rid of your urinary tract infection and everything else. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you guys today. All right. I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling. I am so tired. So tired. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. Okay. I hope I was able to answer your question. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I'm all over the place because right now my brain is shutting down. I am so tired and I'm literally going to bed after this. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. I hope I was able to answer your questions. All right. Take the cleanse, the flush. All right. I believe it's called the gallbladder flush. Okay. And the instruction to that gallbladder cleanse is on that website as well in the form of a PDF file. Okay. Just download the file and follow the instruction for the gallbladder cleanse, and that is going to clean you out. And if you have any gallstones sitting in your gut, that is going to break up the gallstones and get rid of them. Nobody wants to be walking around with gallstones because very painful, very painful. Okay, I've never had them, but I've spoken to people who suffered from them. Okay, yeah. So you don't want to have gallstones. But if you have them and you take that cleanse, that flush, it's going to get rid of them. Okay. And after you do that flush, you're going to be taking those herbs, all right, to put the body back into an alkaline state. That's the key here. Get rid of all that inflammation in the system, all that acidity in the system, all that yeast in the system. Okay. Get the heart back together because that diabetes is no joke, man. Clean up the pancreas, clean up the liver, the kidney, all that stuff, the gallbladder, clean it all up. Take the herbs, man. All right. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.